We are in the heart of Iran. This is a deserted area, and today we're gonna tell you a story.
The real-life inspirational story of a boy that was fishing in the desert.
A proof that if there is a will and you really believe in your dreams, you will always find a way.
We are Aldo, Vera, and Toto. For over 5 years, we have been driving around the world with our self-converted tiny home on wheels, and we visited more than 50 countries on 5 continents. Next destination, Africa. Through our videos, we show how beautiful, but at the same time, how fragile our planet is, hoping to raise awareness about environmental concerns and inspire people to take action. Subscribe to our channel, enjoying our adventure.
So here we are, nice and relaxed in the desert, and this is Muhammad, the owner of the Tak Taku guesthouse. Thank you so much for having us here. It's an honor to meet you, and we are so curious to hear your story, how everything began.
Thanks for coming to here. It's my pleasure to be your host here. I was a little boy. I was born at 1986 in a tiny classical desert village of Tudesh. And at the beginning I was really curious to see people, and actually I was tired to see same faces every day in the village. And I was born in a normal family, not a rich family, and of course travel, it was not a part of our culture. I was lucky because my parents' house, it was built next to the highway. So every day I could go to the highway and see people passing by. And I was waving to passengers sitting on the bus, and I was waving to truck drivers. I spent many time along the highway, and sometimes I could see cyclists, but they looked different with the cyclists in my village. Why they will look different? Because they had different color of skin, different color of hair. Their bicycle was loaded with so many luggage, and usually they arrived before evening to my village, and they stopped in the supermarkets to buy water, food, and then they were looking for place to stay, to put their tent and sleep overnight there. So it was a big question on my mind that who is she, who is he, what they want, why they are so different. And nobody could answer my question. But the only word I could remember from them, it was hello. Because when they arrived and they stopped, they say hello to everybody. I grown up, and finally I reached to the secondary school. For first time when my English teacher came to class, he told us hello students. So I jumped like a spring, and I asked what's the meaning of the hello. So my teacher was curious how I know hello. Where did I hear the word of hello? He was a very wise man. He traveled to so many countries and he was well educated. So he taught me about tourism and about traveling culture. He find me that I'm really interested to see these people and to get in touch with these people. So thanks to him, because he taught me conversational English, and I wrote this conversational English in a piece of paper.
Yeah.
That piece of paper, it was in my pocket. I was coming from school, shoot my bag to home, and run to highway, waiting for cyclists. Because my place, I'm in Tudesh, it's between two major cities, Isfahan and Yazd. From Isfahan to my place, it's 100 kilometers. That means one day pedaling.
Yes.
I had that piece of paper in my pocket, and I was asking from truck drivers, have you seen any cyclists today? Sometime no, so I was disappointed, back to home. Sometime yes, I was super happy, and even I walked toward Isfahan to catch them. I stopped many cyclists, I had a conversation with them, I was reading on my paper, they answered my question, even I didn't understand the meaning. I was teenager, like 13, 14 years old, and the question, it was really basic question, like where do you come from, what do you think about Iran? And sometimes it was private question, which later on I find out this is a private question and I shouldn't ask. Anyway, it was nice to start like this. And one time I host a German cyclist. He started from Germany pedaling and he was in the way to Himalaya. His name Andreas. Still we are in touch, and he is coming back to my guest house every some years.
What was your first host?
Yeah, he was a German cyclist that I invite him to my private to my grandfather
Grandparents.
house. And on that time, I didn't know anything about tourism. I didn't have anything to offer. Actually, it was just a roof and hot water to take a shower. But that was a paradise for cyclists after 100-kilometer cycle.
From Isfahan.
Yes, I invite him to home. We cook something for him, and he stayed the night with us. And next morning, he told me if he can stay another night. So I think he stayed 2 nights with us, and he understood that I'm in love with cyclists. I love to host them. So he told me what I can offer, and how I can fishing cyclists from highway. That was a key for me. So he left, and I continued that. I was going every day to the highway, and I was hosting cyclists by body language to my grandfather's house. Later on, because of the recommendation mouse to mouse and travel journey in internet, my place became more famous, and I could see people with motorbike, with bicycle, with their own car, and I did that for 7 years for free. I didn't take any money from them because I wanted to improve my English. Actually, I'm not speaking good English.
You
but
speak very good, better than my Farsi.
But I learned face to face. I never been to the class to learn English. I never watched a movie to learn English. I just learned face to face with traveler. So I was lucky in my life because in 2007 I met a writer of Lonely Planet guidebook, and he introduced me to the guidebook. After the guidebook, everything has been changed. Many people start to come. Many backpackers, traveler, hitchhiker. So I worked a bit on my grandfather's house, and I made 2 rooms ready. Maximum capacity I had, it was for 5 people. I didn't have anything. I started from zero. I went to the hotel in Nain, and I borrowed some second-hand mattress. I borrowed 40 euro from my friend, and I bought some pillows, some sheets to cover mattress and blankets. I started like that. So backpackers start to come. I could run my business very well on that time.
You said the youngest man to get the license for 18 years old.
Yes,
Yeah.
in Isfahan province, I was the youngest guy who could register the homestay officially, and I could get a license from tourist office in Isfahan. My place was listed on TripAdvisor. Actually, in 2019, I was the winner of TripAdvisor. And after some years being in my grandfather's house, it was time to upgrade. So this house today it was a completely ruined because it was left for 20 years. This village, it was famous for caravan of camel to passing by. Used to be a rich village because men, they own camel. It was their job to transport in Silk Road, and women, they were making carpet. I bought this house. It took 3 years for me to rebuild it. Many people, many travelers, with the idea, with any other kind of things, they support me, and I could finish house. I could restore it with Iranian taste, with Iranian decor, and I have 7 rooms here. Easily I can house 20 people. This is like a 200 years old house. It was my choice. I wanted to list in Iranian heritage because I wanted to save the building. I asked the organization, they came, they look after, they do photography, they made a plan, and they listed in Iranian heritage. Then, when it's listed, I have to be careful how I am renovating. So I can't use new material, I have to do old method, old material. So I went around. I was visiting Kashan, Yazd, because in Kashan and Yazd there are many clay traditional houses. And I asked my friends who renovated already hotel, traditional guest houses, they introduced me good people that can help me to rebuild like the wall, floor, rooms, carpenter, and always I find good people because I say I am not rich to buy cheap stuff, I like to do one and one, it's need to be good job.
So apart of this fantastic, incredible accommodation where people can come and just relax, as you can see, what else you can offer? Because you've been in deserts, you've been up and down through Iran, you have connection all around. He was actually the person that brought the tourists in this village because people were not used to see tourists here. But they noticed that they were buying, you told me, water, cigarettes, some bread.
Honestly, I find out that tourists, when they come to Iran, they are looking to see the culture. They want to know the culture. They want to know the family life. And it's nice to see the bigger city like Isfahan, Yazd, Shiraz, Persepolis. It's very nice. But also sometimes it's getting too much for tourists. So they want to be in a quiet place. They want to be able to see the real life. Here when they come, it's relaxed, it's clean sky, homely food, and one more important thing is that they can feel a member of family. They are helping us in the kitchen, in home, and they really are a member of family here. So what we can do here for tourists, we give them bicycle, they can go around the village. Around the village we have some nice mountains they can go to climb like half a day or full day. Nearby here we have a nice desert. We take people as a day trip to the desert to see the sunrise or sunset. We can camp overnight in the desert. We make campfire, we give them all the equipment, and they can see millions of stars at night, Milky Way. Nearby the village we have a salt lake. We organize tour for them to visit the salt lake, and also there is an old caravanserai which is 500 years old from Safavid period in the Silk Road. It's in the middle of nowhere. That's a perfect place to go to the rooftop at night to watch the star.
Nice. So we are obviously gonna link you in the description all the details of the Tak Taku guest house that you were telling me the story of the name, because there is also an interesting part. What is the Tak Taku?
Yeah. Tak Taku, a long time ago, it was essential that the people inside the home knew where the person knocking was, a man or woman. That's why per wooden entrance door they use two types of knockers. Each knocker made a different sound. So people inside the home knew who is knocking the door. If man is knocking, usually man would answer the door. If ladies are knocking, usually ladies would answer the door. In this region, still we are talking with old Persian dialect. This dialect is known as Pahlavi Sasani. In this dialect, we call the knocker Tak Taku because of the sound they make.
Muhammad, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for hosting us. We are really happy to have had the chance to know you. And anyone that would really like to have the real taste of Iran, please do get in touch with Muhammad, because he's really an awesome person and he knows travelers. So he knows the understanding of privacy, and he really will go the extra mile to satisfy your requests. Thank you so much. It was an honor.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. It was my pleasure and pleasure of my family to be your host. And I really wish everybody come to Iran, come to here and feel a member of family. We are happy to see you, and you are all welcome to here.
Bye.